Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting and everything and amazing Propagandacast from your host Imperial Dane, the one, the only master propaganda hero, psych defender of the fatherland, off here to glorious, near-magical 1v1 here on Langraskaya. In the north, we got Angreifen fighting for the Red Army of the Soviet Union. Comrade Stalin here with the glorious 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps with Guard Motor, T-3035, Heavy Mortars, Guards Rifle Infantry, Vehicle Crew Paid Training, and Marked Vehicle. In the south, it is Mirassol fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland here with the Hermann Göring Fallschirm Panzergrenadier, or Panzerdivision actually at this point. Here with Luftwaffe Supply Doctrine with airdrop medical supplies, Luftwaffe Field Officers, Supplier Drops, Incendiary Bombing Runs, and the Heavy Bombing Run. Quick part why he denied the building east axis to the Germans. Bit common here. Angreifen tend to be particularly a bit aggressive with such barbed wire maneuvers. Lots of guns from Mirassol, no early machine guns from him. But as always, a big hearty thanks to my patron supporters. Without them, the support, the Propagandacast would certainly be in a bit of a tough spot. So thanks to all those. Other people enjoy the links for Patreon, or they can donate via PayPal. Links in the description. And if you're in the market for pre and commoners free, you can support the Propagandacast by pre-ordering commoners free through the link in the comments. Use the CoH2 FG, and I get a small part of the sale. And I shall talk about the video or commoners in general. So, off to the races we are here. 3rd Gunnery Squadron from Mirassol, slowly heading westwards, but also eastwards. It would appear, in fact, leaving only a small force towards west, perhaps sensing it from the way Angreifen is moving about, that he might be sort of, looking to push hard west, and so instead it's going to push eastwards, which would be an interesting read in the situation, looking at what Angreifen is doing, of course, from our perspective. Isn't looking to be a wrong assumption either. There you go, Gunnery's being sent eastwards here. Up north, we got engineers setting out. Moving westwards, 3rd conscript there for Angreifen, very standard third build order here. 3 conscripts, so engineers for guard motor, then you go for guard squad, maybe heavy mortar, and then you just, go for T-35s, field guns, and, Katyushas. Moving up here, steady approach there towards that eastern fuel point. Pioneers, basically I think acting as a diversion here in the west, trying to slow down Angreifen up to east as he commits more and more gunneries towards the eastern side of the map here. You got the 3rd conscript idea for Angreifen. 4th Gunnery Squad for Mirassol. We'll have to see what he goes from the commander. Likely to use airdrop medical supplies. That one is popular with some players. As for 30 munitions, it's pretty handy dandy. And the officer personally I think is pretty solid too, but he tends to get a bit more overlooked by a lot of players. And this is going to the advancing conscripts in the east engineers being ripped apart by Grenadier fire here, not doing too well. West side here, the Pioneers are slowly being overwhelmed here by Angreifen's forces, but Mirassol continues to buy just enough time as Angreifen, I imagine, to make the sort of push in the east a bit more successful. There you go, pushed off the eastern fuel. 4th Grenadier Squad has arrived and is further moving in to assist here in the east, though, interesting enough, he can't end up conceding the house here, perhaps to Angreifen, which could backfire Mirassol's eastern plans here versus the Red Army. Well, obviously, but note gets back into it, and suddenly Angreifen's forces are caught in a bit of a sticky spot here between a lot of grenadiers, including some in some pretty tougher positions here. Still, it does go all in on the field point here, doing his best to keep Mirassol off it. Does take a lot of damage in the process. I think you want to try and flank up around here to get a bit of better shots in the grenadiers. We've got medical supplies here in the base. Quickly allows them to heal up, but they also get a small boost from it. Back here, we got medics running for Angreifen. Skirmishing continues here. That does mean Angreifen getting both fuel points here. Will he try and make a new push towards the west, gain the fuel point there back from Angreifen? We'll have to see in these here. The conscript being played out here by Mirassol Grenadiers. He's slowly overcoming him. The cover is also crumpling away. That wooden cart has seen much better days. On the west side here, Pioneers going for it. There goes. Mirassol will now make a push for these western fuel point as well here against Angreifen. And the eastern skirmish continues because they're pushed back. Been a pretty bloody fight even Mirassol on the east. Ultimately, not with a lot to show for it. Now we've got more reinforcement for Angreifen to further flush out the remaining grenadiers. So yeah, overall, early engagements kind of feel to be like they're basically benefiting Angreifen more than they benefited Mirassol. Great for Angreifen, but again, not quite splendid here for the Germans to start with. That was, of course, mean it's GG, but certainly it's a bit of an edge here from Angreifen that could be a bit tougher for Mirassol to overcome, depending on what he does next. Wiring off the cover there, grabbing the cover point there as well. Angreifen quickly filling up the gap here in the east and seizing as many points as he can. Mirassol building up against the next push. So it's done. We'll have to see what he goes for, though, and he's going for a 5th Grenadier Squad. So he's going for a pretty heavy infantry build here. Mirassol is one of those players who's definitely a big fan of the more infantry-heavy builds in general, I find, with the Wehrmacht. And so 5 Grenadiers does mean he's got a lot more infantry to bring to bear against Mirassol's or Angreifen's 3 conscript squads. Or again, 2 engineers. So if he plays smartly, he could definitely give Angreifen a bit of a rough case with that. That said, if, Angreifen takes in the right positions and Mirassol, just charges guns into that, that could be, easy way for Angreifen to negate Mirassol's odds, like, infantry advantage. On the west side, you guys with the conscripts there. Pioneers bring up here, no Flammenwerfers. Heavy mortars, scouts will live for Angreifen. Engineers being ripped apart. There we got more laps up for Mirassol. And of course, this is where things are getting further dicing in for Angreifen, because one then has 5 grenadiers with light machine guns, then Angreifen's 3 conscripts will be significantly outgunned, to put it gently. That will definitely necessitate guardsmen at the very least. So far, no tech from Angreifen and no guardsmen. Mirassol, not really much else going on except the 5 grenadiers. I would not be surprised he's going to rely on the supply drops and machine guns and packs here versus his opponent. Then he's the engineers here, ripping apart at close ranges. Might see another medical supply drop here for the grenadiers. Going on the centre. But yeah, once Mirassol really got all that infantry going, suddenly he's able to leverage their numbers more efficiently, and suddenly it becomes harder for Angreifen to involve. It doesn't certainly help Angreifen's case, so that again he's just floating a fair amount of manpower rather than, say, committing more troops like guardsmen or something like that. Quick Ralph going to go to the hedges, push across the hedges, pushing the conscripts back there. East side there, steady push here from Angreifen and the Hermann Göring Fallschirmpanzerdivision, which was the Luftwaffe's only panzer division, which came about mostly due to Hermann Göring's utter vanity. Fun fact. Bit of a longer story of that one. Initially started out as sort of as a police unit, then became a flak regiment, I believe, and then it became a Panzer Grenadier division, which actually fought in Tunisia and actually in Italy as well. Then became a Panzer division, and finally became a Panzer Corps with a Panzer division in it and a Panzer Grenadier division. So, fun fact there. Got the company westwards there. Medical supplies here for Mirassol. No officers, sadly. Can also now go for the supply drop. Get himself a Pack 40 and MD-34, but also fuel and munitions. To pull ahead here on the tech tree. Angreifen, the tank commander. There we go, supply drop in. Anti-aircraft traffic here for Angreifen. So there you go. Lots of Luftwaffe supplies here. Fuel, munitions, got the pack, and again we got the MD-34. Angreifen calling some guardsmen, adding the DP light machine guns, I imagine, though he's probably going to wait for the half-track to first, come in, so can upgrade that first as a priority. Then again, this is Angreifen. He's one of the few players I've actually noticed that supposedly actually makes some use of mechanized infantry tactics. Yeah, he may just, stuff the guardsmen inside of the half-track. Who needs, filthy capitalist American quad 50 cals when you can just get Boris and Yevgeny in the back with a pair of DP light machine guns? Take that, America. Soviet ingenuity to the rescue. Yup, here we go. Got the infantry advancing conscript in the center, pioneers pushing in as well here. Probably suspecting is at this point regretting not hauling that Pack 4 to the front line, but there you go, MD-34 manned by pioneers, ripping into the conscripts in the center here. And he's right here by the mighty guards half-track here. Charging straight at the grenadiers in the center here. And of course the MD-34, though lacking in semi-piercing rounds, it doesn't really have any great way of harming the half-track, except I don't know, theoretically hitting someone, poking their head out too far. There you go, explosion in the rear, which is slightly more beneficial for the machine gun, but there you go, Pantherfast, but crucial, it's the thing that's really going to hurt the half-track. In the west here, constantly up here, pressuring Mirassol's left flank also. He's kind of banning these two, so Angreifen just quickly grab it back. In this regard, his move towards the center like this actually feels a bit odd, because again, it doesn't in any way help him defend the eastern resources, and he's not pushing for the west, so he kind of risks now handing over most of the fuel here to his opponent. So he is taking up here, we do have the pack ready, and we got a heavy mortar for Angreifen. Thumbs up. Picks up the half-track there, guardsmen the move elsewhere. We'll have to see upgrades with the quad mount, or he's going to, pop the guardsmen back in it. Gunny's Penny's pushing westwards. There you go, half take good to go here. The M5. Mine C being laid down. There you go, does add the quarterman to it. Guess he realised that Yevgeny and Boris were perhaps not a quite adequate substitute for just 450 cal machine guns. Of course, they will never officially, accept that. That's not the official, and of course, they'll easily state that Boris and Yevgeny could easily, with the DP lock machines, outperform the 450 cals. Easy. Power of socialism and Marxist-Leninist rhetoric ideology. So, anyways, after moving towards the center here on the west side, the gun is being hammered here by the third heavy mortar there. The HM38. Getting supported with the half check at the west here. Veterans who won there, 2 killed. Gun is immediately routed. Then he's in the east. Pack 4D basically far removed from where the anti-aircraft tank actually is. That said, Mirassol could build the Supporter Core 9 rush out, maybe a Stug or an Ostwind here versus Angreifen, which could blindside Angreifen just a wee bit. West side against versus the anti-aircraft tank, trying to buy time, which I would say under the current circumstances is fairly optimistic against that. In the center, the assault goes forward, going to catch the mortar, pushing it back here. A few engineers acting as spotters there in the nearby building. Not really able to do much. Field gun here for Angreifen and the Red Army. Back here for Mirassol. There's a Pommel Coyette, bit of manpower floating. Of course, in the pinch, you could also go for another supply drop, more fuel, more munitions, another pack, another machine gun. Machining conveyor setting up on the east side here. Cis gun halfway done here for Angreifen with the army. West side fuel points falling into the hands of the 2nd Guards Mechanized Corps soon again. Gun is pushing forwards here with their more machine guns on the way there. More medical supplies here for Mirassol as well. Machine gun flanked by the knees and ungun solution here. They don't have enough firepower. Well, we'll just add the firepower with the demo charge. Heinz? Yeah, what is these Russians doing over here? They're laying down something that looks like explosives. Oh, scheiße. Yeah, I think we need to get out of here. That, by the way, is one of the things Angreifen also likes to do, and note, he's not the only player, but, he's the only one who really notices it. But again, you will notice some other players, if they flank your machine gun with an engineer squad, they may just start laying down a demo charge. It's a very good way of convincing the opponent to get the hell out of there, or a very good way to cross up an MT-42 if they don't get out of there. So, anyways, Gunnies with the country here, close to the center victory point. West side here, we got the Gunnies going for that fuel point here. We got flare mines here on the cover. Thumbs up to Angreifen. Mirassol definitely starting a bit from map control. Supporter Corps is up to go for the Ostwind or Stug now, but more likely he is going to push for the Panzer IV, which isn't bad. I feel like there's a somewhat of a missed opportunity here by Mirassol not pushing out fast Ostwind. So you might see wiping on Angreifen. There you go, executed. Grab the Western fuel point here. Backfield Deutschland machine quality with the anti-aircraft tower attack. 5 kills, close to 2, and there you go. Panzer on the way there for Mirassol and Das Vaterland. Mechanized armor company up here for Angreifen. Got the gunners ready there. We got gunners being forwards here. Pretty much almost every grenadier squad has now been equipped with MD-42s except for the one in the far west. We still haven't seen a sadly in the Luftwaffe field officer, which you do think is a bit of a shame, but details. Then they got Paniers the Guardsmen. Paniers realizing they are significantly outgunned, fall back. Also note here, Angreifen has been merging his conscripts quite faithfully with the Guard squad to keep them at, relatively good strength. At a lower cost. The true Soviet way, cutting corners wherever possible. MD-42 advancing conscripts here. Quickly suppressed, and then we got the Guardsmen that are going to use here. Panzer IV setting out here. Adding some pinhole machine. Here we go. Hello, hey, mortar shot there. And definitely punishing Mirassol for bunching up his infantry too much. Could have been worse, admittedly. It could have been a lot worse, but at the same time, I do think it serves as a pretty good warning here to Mirassol to perhaps not bunch up things so close. Hey, mortar being pushed back. Field gunner well pierced with the Panther dives in. Could go for the T-35 now. He could also have dreams of an H-85. We'll have to see here, but he definitely, I think, needs to make a choice on that one soon here before Mirassol overruns him with a might of Deutschland. Adding the penalty machine here, field and crew there being absolutely hosed. Garston going out here with anti-tank rifles, buttoning it up here. Pack 40 Cs, though, from Mirassol. It's quickly turned against his Panda 4. That's awkward. But looks like it's going to allow the field to be destroyed here rather than crewed up here. Hey, Mord from the Gunage puts your wipe in Mirassol as well. Half-tech going up as well there. Pretty aggressive pursuit here and almost got the half-tech. There we go. Grenadiers white machine gun dropped too. Good Lord. That is definitely great news for Angreifen. Less so for Mirassol. And he didn't destroy the field gun either. That is a double whammy of awkwardness here for Mirassol and the Hammond Göring Fallschirm Panzer Division. And we get another supply drop here, meaning another pack 40, another machine gun, of course, more fuel and munitions. After there, though, firing away at the supply craft there, and is he trying to destroy the light machine gun? Oh, he's trying to clear up lines of fire. Okay. I think if he hasn't picked up the MG42, guess it's because he wants to prioritize 7-man squads and the conscripts. Yes, Guardsmen can't pick it up because they're heavily equipped. It's going to have to be like engineers picking up the MG42. We're reinforcing healing here. We got the field pack 40 at the ready here, so a 6-man pack 40 is definitely going to be a bit of a headache for Mirassol. And a pretty good asset here for Angreifen alongside his field gun. Straight into mine here. Several gunners lose their lives. It looks like he's going to grab the infantry to the conscript squad here. Yep. West side here, we've got a small engineer push with mine assaults being laid down by Angreifen. Thumbs up. So there we go. Pack crewed up here, but interesting enough so far isn't bothering with that extra MG34. Which is a bit surprising. Like, I know a lot of Valorant players at some point will basically just go for another machine gun because, you know, having more than one tends to be pretty good at dealing with the opponent. Certainly another MG34 would be pretty good here for Mirassol. So I'm a bit surprised at that. You see how P9 there popped up there? Thumbs up. So right then, the enemy was already out of fire, but they could still fight the guards inside the nearby building. Veterans is 2 gain there for the MG34 crew. More troops moving through the center. Panther moving up to the front line here for Mirassol. And the west side here, fuel point once more being assailed here by Angreifen and the Red Army. Well, Mirassol could go for a Panther 4 soon. Interesting enough, Angreifen, brothers, while he has built the mechanized armor company, he still hasn't built a tank. I just realized that. At this point, I don't think there's really much an excuse to like not build a T-3045 here or Katyusha or something. So I don't know what's holding back Angreifen at this point. I am not entirely sure what could be holding him back. Like, is awaiting, like, personal, you know, orders from Joseph Stalin's, like, build that tank or something. Handful holding up here. Grenadiers machinery in the center here. Still, Angreifen been taking pretty good map control despite not really having many tanks here. Another metal supply drop here for Mirassol. Got the half-tech here with 8 kills, slowly approaching Veterinary Fleet. Back here, still no tanks for Angreifen. Got the heavy mortar added here, 4 kills, close to Veterinary 2. Mirassol can go for another Panda 4 now here. And there you go, Angreifen finally calling a tank. It is the T-3485. Constant there with MG42 gaining Veterinary Fleet. It could also become a bit of an uncomfortable scenario here for Mirassol to have to deal with, to be honest. Field and Fang at the Panther 4 missing out. Constant pushback, half coming up. We got the Haymotor blast weights. Not really getting more kills for now. Of course, they can quickly change. Particularly remember to use the barrage ability. T-35 almost done there for Mirassol. We do get the second Panther 4 here. It's down to one who's going to like go for tier 4 or if something else is going on there. So there you go. T-3045 right here for Angreifen. The Red Army. Stalin. Controlling up here close to Veterinary Fleet. West side here. Pioneers slowly seizing the western point. Field guns out at the ready. Guards moving up here near the ace level. Heavy mortars there. Still not barraging. Just sort of, you know, randomly firing off shots. Hoping to get lucky. And we get a maximum of Angreifen. Meanwhile, Mirassol still has that machine gun there, just doing nothing except collect dust out in the open. Sandbags being laid down. Angreifen clearly expecting Mirassol to make another push here for the centre, so laying down sandbags and such across, you know, that expected axis of attack, I think, is a pretty smart move. But that said, we do get a pressure on the left flank here as Mirassol might instead be setting up for flank here against Angreifen. That's definitely much smarter. Thumbs up to that. Mortify there. We do get some barraging here, but only against the Pioneer squad. That seems a bit much. In the southeast, low probing here for Mirassol. Going to the side, hitting a flare mine off, giving away parts of the attack at least here. Still southeast flank here for Angreifen is pretty exposed, so it's not a bad idea to attack for the Mirassol. And then, of course, we get the head-on assault here, which is, again, fairly anticipated by Angreifen, though perhaps not as large scale as you would have figured it would be. Which, of course, could be to the benefit. There you go, flanking the Maxim and hitting it with rifles from both sides, wiping the Maxim crew in a matter of seconds before Angreifen has really a chance to catch on what's going on and actually, you know, retreat them in time. North here, west, Panther pushing back the country here. Heavy mortar fire, packs bringing in as well. And in the east here, Panther 4, gauged by soda anti-tank guns. There could be in trouble as well here. T-45 racing in. Half track there, trying to dodge the Pack 40. Panther 4, number 2 moving in. Or is it number 1? Panther Pass there, damaging the engine here. Packs up in the T-45 from the other side. Angreifen tank at a high risk of being turned into scrap metal here. Almost got it. Shot bounced. Close call here, close call. Panther 4 that also survives. Could try and go into the Panther from the rear here. Bypass the anti-tanks, go straight for the T-45, though he may want to bring up something to do with the anti-tank guns. Panther 4 takes a shot and the half-track misses, but yeah, he's going to go in for it. He does lack a bit of support here. This could also end up costing the Panther 4 without taking out the T-45, at which point he's obviously made a pretty rubbish trade. He does get it, though. And looks like he may just be able to get away with the Panther 4 in a daring maneuver. Maximum there could also be grabbed here by Mirassol, though again, if he's not going to grab his, you know, MD-34 on top of his base, I'm not entirely sure he's going to grab a Maxim close to the front line, though he should at least then destroy it to deny it to Angreifen, because the chances of Angreifen stealing that machine gun inside his own base is astronomically low. Now, that would require like straight up a heist movie style thing being lined up by Angreifen to seize that MG-34. And you'd really have to wonder, would setting up a heist to steal your opponent's MG-34 really worth? I mean, sure, it'd be really cool for like a YouTube channel, but like, from an in-game perspective, would it really help you out that much? No. And it would be absolutely cool. But anyways, come to push back the gun here. This was the conscripts. Routed here. Panther 4 being fixed up. Medical supplies being hauled out. T-35 number 2 for Angreifen, the Red Army. Panther 4's in repairs. Machine gun still waiting for someone to come pick it up. Eastern fuel point falling to the hands of Mirassol once more. Carp on this been hit at least. Consul though low in health, low in numbers, but high in morale, according to official reports. And the Senate going to the heavy mortar in the guards from the Panther 4 moving up, adding the penalty machining gewehr. Field guns pack being moved to the front line there as well, to the centre. T-35 almost done here. Going to use this, slowly being bled out here by the advance of Angreifen. Got something a loss here, and they drop the PTRS-41 anti-tank rifle. So there you go, another T-3045 ready here for Angreifen and the Red Army. Mirassol with a third Panther 4. Nice, sensible choice there. And there you go. Angreifen did get back the Maxim machine gun there. I feel like that's a bit of a slip there by Mirassol. Really shouldn't have allowed his opponent to get back the Maxim there. Field guns, T-35 bombarding here. Mirassol's going to use the assault though keeps sort of on here in the east side. We got a second wave here of troops moving up for that eastern fuel point again. Looking to strangle here Angreifen with fuel. Very sensible move there by Mirassol. West side a bit of probing about. He could try and push up the western fuel point here from there. Advance gloriously for the Red Army in the east side here. T-35 clashes with the Panther 4. Victory point here and fuel point there. About to fall into Mirassol's hands. Once more machine gun in the center here. And the third Panther 4 arrives from Mirassol. Das Vaterland. In the west side, the Company forces swiftly advancing here, going for that victory point here, seizing it with their hands, and the Guard Liberty some victory point here close to it are being fired at by Grenadiers. Third Panther ready, and again, crucially note, he's got machine guns on all of them. That does provide a bit of extra anti-infantry firepower. Thumbs up to that. Ace low MU was the come to the center here. Panther comes there, firing from both sides. East side here, Panther 4 pushes back on Maxim, unsurprisingly. In the center there, Panther 4 with a damaged engine. Angreifen, you can soon go for another T-34-85. But there definitely needs to be, I think, some kind of like, you know, tactical change here for Angreifen. Or Mirassol, I suppose, need to like make a big mistake. Because so far things aren't quite going swimmingly for Angreifen. So unless Mirassol like just willingly charges his Panther Force right into the packs and his fist guns and just gets some wrecked there, the problem is like he's going to be significantly outgunned fairly persistently for now in terms of tanks, and that's definitely something that could, you know, allow Mirassol eventually just crush Angreifen like an insect. So he needs like, you know, look to somehow like, you know, turn the tides there. Some of his opponents are like also has more squads than him. Not more infantry per se. I mean, he's got 18 men there versus, well, 16 there. But, you know, squad-wise, there's a bit of a difference there. Heavy mortar team there being hammered here by machine gun 5. We got the Panther on the flank here. T-35 there. Field guns, packs going towards the Panther on the west here. But we can see Angreifen is really losing ground here to mid as well. Victory points wise. It's alters down to look a bit more questionable here for the Red Army. T-35 at the Panther 4. Shot bounced. Panther 4 did not. We saw the fuel point being seized on the nearest west side here. Oh, heavy mortar landing on his machine gun. H5 here for Angreifen. Heavy mortar there. Veteran fleet 9 kills. Pretty good here for Angreifen. Pretty good. Panther 4 the flank here. Deep flank here by Mirassol. Aggressive and audacious. Now attacking from another side here. We do get marked vehicle here from him, but the heavy mortar crew ace level is exterminated here by Mirassol's Panther 4. Pretty good here. Pretty good. Packs firing at it. Could go for target weak point. Doesn't. Gatling up here. Film getting a good hit here. Almost got the Panther 4. Grenadiers going for the T-35 with the Panther Faust. H-35 almost done here. Panther 4 in the center of the packs and the field here. Gatlin's going to see the situation is chaotic. It's hectic. It's bananas. It's the Ostfront. Machine gun wipe in the center here. Aircraft shot the sky. The H-5 has arrived. Grenadiers almost wiped out here. And the field gun crew, though, is in turn about to get exterminated here by Mirassol's Grenadiers. Constantly up here to try and close the gaps. The T-35 Diny repairs here. Field gun crewed up here rapidly for Angreifen. And the H-5 being moved to the front line here. Panther 4 being hauled back. Betsy 2 with Schutzen. T-35 being repaired. Can use the vehicle crew so prepared to get it back into the action faster. More medical supplies here from Mirassol. Pack fire then, not quite hitting anything. Not quite hitting anything. And Mirassol here commits to a 4th Panzer 4 here, going for an understrength Panzer 4 platoon here to try and overwhelm Mirassol here. Angreifen, I mean, which is not a bad idea. Hey, Mortal, I think, could that be benefit of being recruited here by Angreifen? I do want to insist on calling him Mirassol as well there. That's a bit of an odd one. Center going for the field gun here. Straight ahead here for Deutschland to the T-35. Max and they're going for sustained fire. Before they then have to cut their sustained fire to fall back. There you go, Lapshin comes around through the grenades and move up here, going straight for the center here, scoring easy kills with the MG42. Got the Grenadiers there being ripped apart out in the open. Guards holding the line as well as they can here, but they are definitely being out. HG5 hanging back here. Slowly but steadily. Panther 4 diving in. And again, we got 4 Panther 4 straight into the field guns. HG5, T for their first Panther 4 knocked out here. It's a pretty brazen assault here. Mirassol was like, you know, right into a lot of anti-tank guns and tank destroyers. Very ambitious, but also like backfire. In this case, he's relying heavily on just, well, Zerg tactics. Takes on HG5 and the T-35. Lost only 1 Panther 4, though. Oh, Pack 40 is moving up. They might actually lose another Panther 4 here, though. And a Pack 40 here, so... But suddenly things are a lot less clear-cut here for Mirassol in terms of success. That assault in particular, like, ends up losing another Panther 4. I don't know what happened there. I'm guessing that Pack 40 was a misclick or one of those cases where, like, you give a unit, one unit order, but then for some reason, occasionally another unit picks up on that order. It's a bit of an odd one there. I've had that happen to me a few times before. Anyways, Scout in the center here, Panther 4 falling back. So they still got 2 Panther 4s. There we go. Pack being crewed up here, meaning he's up against 3 anti-tank guns, which is certainly significantly bigger problems there for Mirassol's Panzers, truth be told. 100 points left here though for Angreifen. Grab the Eastern victory point here, sending seas as well here. Triple anti-tank guns. And some armor could definitely give Angreifen maybe a chance to swing against the game more decisively against Mirassol. Quick grenade in the Grenadiers. Raft grenades being tossed out in return. Now the grenade really ends up having any major impact. Amort also back in action here for Angreifen and the Red Army. Their second guards mechanized cause Mirassol charges towards for Deutschland. Still off, sadly. Grenadiers taking a heavy hit there from the heavy mortar. We got the Maxim against the advancing Grenadiers, and he's pushing them back here. A mortar there, ready to bombard again. As for Mirassol, I'm guessing it's just giving another Panther 4. Still hasn't bothered with that extra machine gun. Now he's lost his own machine gun here. He could at least still benefit from accruing the 1 machine gun in his base, but apparently that one just doesn't exist to Mirassol. Got the anti-tank wing forwards there. There we go. 3rd Panther 4 for Mirassol. Plenty of shouting anti-tank trying to do with that Panther 4, but it's too late already. The conscript escort is about to get wiped out. Reinforcement healing could go for another T-35 now. He could also theoretically just go for T-36, but that's it. Right now there's a bit of an issue here for Angreifen. This anti-tank's about to get swarmed up. We got an incendiary artillery barrage as well here. An incendiary barrage, but incendiary bombing run. Guards moving in here. There you go. Barrage doesn't quite hit. 1 anti-tank gun cleared out. But there's still 2 more to go. T-35 on the way here. Panther 4's going for the kill here. Hey, mortar being hammered here. Anti-tank guns in some deep trouble, but they managed to get back to the safety of the base here. Really start opening up the Panther 4 here. Down to half health already, if not less than that. Not destroying the anti-tank, and meaning Angreifen could recruit once more. I feel like that is a bit tactically risky here by Mirassol. T-35 they're almost dying for Angreifen. Grenadiers instead of being swarmed by Sword infantry. Throngs overcoming here the Grenadiers and absolutely tearing them limb from limb. Almost wiping that entirely. There you go. That's another light machine drop, which then could be seized here by the no, the counter-pound. Can the guardsmen? No, they picked up that anti-tank rifle. So he's going to need some more infantry. He's going to need the engineers to pick that one up. Hand up the conscripts, killing Sergei quite brutally. Maxim wiped up. We got the T-35 they're charging in. Anti-tank's being halted, not fully enforced. Got that one crewed up here by a few plucky engineers. Congratulations, you're now anti-tank gunners. I didn't study for that. Well, gotta learn on the job then, comrade. Seizing the center victory point. Panther was the contra in the center trying to dig in. Not quite looking swell there for Angreifen. Got the T-35 they're looking up to even the odds bit around the center here. So got 68 was 286. Panther 4 they're halfway to the ace level. Got the anti-tank guns lined up here. Machine gun there ready to grab with engineers, I guess. Yoink. Here's the guards from here. No replacements of infantry from Mirassol, by the way. Not anything neither has to really been for Angreifen. Panzer looks like going for deep flank. We got the anti-tanks being hauled back here to base just in time. Could even get spotted here by the conscripts if Mirassol's unfortunate, or Angreifen is lucky. In the centre of the push forward, see we got the light machine gun engineers here versus the light machine gun grenadiers. Broad push here. Panther 4, they're slightly spotted. Push back with the anti-tank guns, at least the fet of them. Other Panther 4 guns to the Panther 4 here. Good Panther and hit grenadiers, and these are being hammered by the T-35 and the Maxim in the centre there. Pioneers going to bring up against the conscript, now moving up their machine gun. And we got the anti-tank in front here moving up for Angreifen here against Mirassol. T-35, there's the Panther 4 there. T-35 being pushed back here. Rifle grenades and the conscripts. Panther 4 taking a few hits here. Conscript being murdered out here by the Pioneers. There we go. Wiped. Another blow to the Mirassol. Panther 4 remains a bit on its own in the west. Got mines in the centre as well. We got the anti-tank cell being pushed further and further ahead here. And instead of going for deep flank, he's going for a bit more shallow flank. They're almost wiped out with the Panther 4. We got 274 versus 59. More medical supplies for Mirassol. But his infantry has seen much better days. Field gun Maxim around here. Anti-tank and from about the T-35, they're being fixed up. Panther 4 setting up for Deutschland. And there you go, we've got the Pioneers of the Guardsmen. Heavy mortar added, of course. Panther 4 hitting a mine, but almost got the Pioneer squad wiped. That'd be by the remaining Pioneer squad. Mirassol has to repair any of his panzers. Like, that's not great either. East side here, push by Mirassol is being absolutely thwarted here in the muck and the mud here by Angreifen. Stop at defense in the center of the gun is being absolutely hammered here by the T-35. Even as they are looking to punish the Soviet anti-tank on cruise here. Panthers, they're damaging the engine. We got the anti-tank supporting here, the T-35. Virtually two Panthers by here for Mirassol. Shots flying all over the place in the center. The engineers moving forwards. East side here, grenadiers there are being steadily murdered here by Angreifen's conscripts, backed up by that pesky Maxim. And the west side here, Panther 4 being hauled back. Further back here, Panther 4's in need of repairs. And with only one Pioneer squad, it's going to be a bit tough there. We got more Pioneers and a fourth Panther 4 again. But Angreifen is not letting up. He senses opportunity. He senses victory. He senses a way away from the gulags. So he's charging in with the conscript squad backed up with the triple anti-tank guns. Brutal. Mostly for the conscripts, though. End up taking some pretty intense losses in the process. Panther 4, they're almost done. I'm guessing Mirassol may then try another head-on assault like he did last time, though against triple anti-tank guns. That may be a lot less clear-cut. But that said, crucial element there, he still hasn't fixed up that Panther 4 with a damaged engine in the west. Reinforcements, healing, I imagine, happening here. Though, of course, he may want to go for another T-35 first. Yes, indeed. Looks like we're about to see another large armor clash happen, or at least large armored assault. Not so sure there's going to be a clash of a lot of armor, but we could maybe get that as well. Could just get that maybe as well. So, anyways, remaining Panther 4 unit repairs, T-35, they're halfway done. We got 57s to 155. And I was probably trying to figure out like the best setup to defend, like, you know, against a large-scale German armored assault, because at this point, I imagine Angreiffen's aware that Mirassol is just going to probably like try and make another Panther 4 charge at him. Mines on the flank here. Thumbs up to that. Would appear Mirassol is not going to just try and go for, like, you know, straight up the center this time around. He will launch a flanking element, but again, Angreiffen will be ready with some mines there. Thumbs up. And there you go, second T-34-85 ready here for Angreiffen, the Red Army. 247 versus 57. And we're going for it here. Yep, looks like some flanking element here. But there you go. It ends up turning to head-on assault right into the triple lens. There you go. And the planking element runs straight into the mine. And the two T-35s here. This is going to turn pretty side for Mirassol. We do get an incendiary bombing run here. But note also the way the anti-tank has been split up here. making it much harder to take out with a single strike here. Thumbs up to Angreifen. This also provides a much more, thorough defense, because say one anti-tank's bypass, the others can still turn to deal with the anti-tank or the tanks here. So thumbs up to Angreifen. And with this, Mirassol is completely defeated because the infantry wasn't there to support the armor push, meaning the tanks could be dealt with at leisure, and suddenly the infantry is deeply exposed to Angreifen's armor and, well, whatever was left. So suddenly, in a matter of moments, Angreifen is looking, well, fairly much stronger here versus Mirassol, because he still has a tank, and Angreifen has got zip. He's got, Mirassol's got nothing left. Doesn't even have an anti-tank gun. So this is pretty much, I think, GG here for Mirassol against Angreifen. Like, theoretically, could still win this on victory points, but I'd have to say that looks very unlikely. He's actually rushing in a Stug 3G now. Like a deathbed confession in some sense there. A deathbed conversion. I repent of my previous sins and convert to the Church of the One True Sturmgeschütz. Please save me, Stug! Please! Sadly, the Church of the One True Stug doesn't quite work like that. It does not believe in deathbed conversions. Anyways, T-35 holding up here. 241 versus 45. Angreifen could just start chucking out T-34-76 at this point, I think. Maximum about to crewed up again. And there you go. Sturmgeschütz 3 ausführen, gear around there for Mirassol, adding the Panamax Maschinengewehr. Gun is being hammered by the T-35. Pantherfast on the T-34. But ultimately it hasn't had much of an impact. Stug charging in against the T-34. Light machine gun. Oh, flamethrower actually dropped, not the machine gun. Gotta maintain your priorities. Stug almost knocked out here. Grenadiers not having a great time either. Eastern Victor Born, they're falling somewhat to the Germans. The Western one is falling to the army in the return. Got 228 versus 45. Packs being held forward here. Stug down, and with that, I think Mirassol, is truly gone, and we do get a surrender here. So GG, game over. A loss for Mirassol, a victory for Angreifen, and that MD-34 never got used. What a waste. Either way, I hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. If you did, subscribe, like, check, comment. Consider donating or pledge on Patreon to support the Propagandacaster in this glorious war effort, or pre-ordering companies free. Links are in the comments for that. I'll let you know, see you another time. I'll specifically see you tomorrow for another glorious episode. Cheers, everyone.